Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Coming to you live on the last day of Gay Month, aka Pride Month, while we're recording this. I'm Slud Whistle.
It's me, Immunization, and unfortunately, when you guys are hearing this, it will no longer be Gay Month. So, I guess, back to straight culture. So take it away, Aaron.
Finally, after 4 weeks of waiting, my people have their 11 months back. It is I, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag, and in 5 hours from recording, and upon you hearing this, we are finally back in charge.
There's nothing like going to Target and seeing the Pride section slowly becoming overcome by the 4th of July American section. It's the hugest, contrast. I think July
Honestly,
is straight month, right? Right? It is.
Well, especially because the 4th of July is there, and there is nothing straighter than, pure patriotism. So we all just gotta go balls to the walls to forget that silly business we did the past 30 days.
I know, I was just gonna say, especially this year after everything that's happened with the Supreme Court and Roe v. Wade, I feel like it's probably the most homophobic, straightest thing that could happen this year.
Right now it's hatred of women, and that's still, that hurts us too. So it's really just straight man month right now. So, hey, me.
Well, since we're still here in Gay Month, we have to pull our winners for our Pride of Proudmoore contest.
Woo! So I just want to say, as always, all of our amazing entrants were all 10 out of 10s, absolute perfection for the Pride of Proudmoore. So we turn to the old podcast staple, random.org.
You know, I've wheeled out the wheel that we use in DNR After Dark. You know, if you want to have access to those episodes, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/do not relent and subscribe for our bonus episodes. But yeah, we're randomly selecting our winners because, as Aaron said, we love them all.
Especially our latest edition, Joe Dordo here, who submitted a picture of his character not in Azeroth, but instead at a beautiful location on sunny Vashon Island.
But here we go. Our first winner is Fallen Father Tyre.
Whoa, look at this. With his picture of, okay, now I believe is he underwater? Is this an underwater shot? No?
I don't know. He put some, you know what I think it is? I think he got drunk in Thousand Needles. He's sort of in near the houses on the ship on Thousand Needles. Either that or he put some schmutz on the camera, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's my first guess was this is somewhere in Ratchet. Maybe somewhere, it's very Ratchet-esque.
So there are a few places that I thought this might be. It's either, obviously in Ratchet, or there is that one, very small village in Northrend somewhere that also has buildings like this.
Ooh, the one with, the airstrip?
Yeah, but the background does not look like that. It's desert, so maybe it's that one desert city. Is that Ratchet? Is that Ratchet in Kalimdor?
Yes.
What sky is this? Is he pranking us? Because these buildings also do exist in TBC.
Well, no, because he's on Slarm, and Slarm could not exist in TBC.
Slarm can. What do you mean? He can go to Outland. I meant Outland. I said TBC. I refer to all of Outland as TBC.
I was like, Zandalari Trill 110% does not exist in the land of 2005.
No, that's TBCC.
Well, either way, I really appreciate that whether he got drunk in the game or externally applied a RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 filter, I really think it adds to the photo.
Also, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm sorry to whoever said he was underwater, and I was like, he got drunk. He's clearly riding a fish. I zoomed in. He's definitely underwater.
Oh, yeah, he's totally underwater. This bitch, where are you? Okay.
The mystery deepens.
All right, so you're gonna get your gay shirt, Tom would call him Slarm Tire Slarm, and luckily, luckily we know where you live. So this,
yeah, luckily
really
I used to live where you live, so I can just dox you. I can show up at your home with the shirt.
Yeah, but we will reach out to you, informally congratulate you, and get the details of all this sorted out. But for our second winner. Let me just spin this wheel up again.
Some may say it's rigged, but our second place winner was Cubby Bub. Random.org loves giving it to people who we know, but we have her beautiful picture that I'm scrolling up to. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, I flew into a mushroom in Ashran for this one.
She managed to get into Ashran. Now, she says Ashran. I don't know if this is a part of Storm Shield or if she actually had to zone into the battleground, which, if it is the latter, big ups to her because she is not a PvPer, but she is a PGP, or she's a pretty gay petter because she just got the gayest pet she can think of.
And that's fun. So I just want to talk about this picture a little bit more. I really appreciate the angle of us getting these two moons as well. And I'm still just thinking about her saying that she had to fly into something, which makes me feel like it's probably, as you said at first, like in Storm Shield as opposed to like actual Ashran proper, because I don't think you can fly in there, right?
Yeah, so you can zone into Ashran, but it'll be like, you're entering a PvP area. We're gonna kick you out of here.
So she managed to get up there real quick, set up the shot, take the picture before it zoned her into an actual like Slayer of Cinderai scenario.
I love her little tatas underneath her. Is that a Demon Hunter? That's a Legion era chest piece, I do believe. I have worn that many a time on my Demon Hunter.
I don't know. I'd really have to ask her. She's balls deep in Fire Emblem's Three Houses Warriors at the moment. But I will have to ask if that is a very cool leather chest piece or if that is in fact just not wearing a shirt.
You know, that was my first interpretation of this. That might just be the default like panda like bra, but like I'm not 100% on that.
That's Legion. Let's give we have a third prize, baby. That's right. We added more to the prize pool.
It's going to be it's going to be one of us. The nepotism strikes for the third time. Just kidding. Who is it?
Okay, so the wheel has spoken, and this is funny because he very clearly said that he is deeming himself ineligible for this prize, but we and the wheel have spoken that Joe Dorno is our third winner here. And, you know, we did say that, like, technically it had to be an in-WoW photo, but he did actually Photoshop pictures of his WoW character in real life at his local Pride Festival. So I just want to say that I really appreciate this, and I thought this was hilarious. So I'm kind of glad that the random.org has blessed us with this decision.
I'm just thinking about, I apologize, I forgot the name of this dwarf, but this lovely dwarven gentleman with his spiky silver shoulders and his beautiful flag walking around the small community of Vashon Island, just being like, hey, love is love. It's great to see ya.
Yeah, Gardner knows what's up. That's the name of the dwarf.
There you go.
I love the fucking flag in his hand. We're going to post these on our Twitter so you guys can see them. My favorite part is that the two of these submissions literally submitted them today, 2 hours ago. Buzzer beater, Indiana Jones, slid under the door, grabbed the hat and the prize. They're winning the prizes, baby.
And with that, the Pride of Proudmoore 2022 has come to an end. All of our entrants are amazing. All of them will be on all of our social medias. Take a look, give them a heart, give them a thumbs up. Thank you for everyone for entering. And congratulations to our three winners.
We gotta give that money to the charity. Don't we forget.
That is true. And not only do our winners win all of these fabulous items, but also we will be donating to Orange County LGBT Center.
All right, let's get that gay shit out of here and talk about the newest patch coming. Immune said, there's not going to be a patch for Season 4. There's no more patches. Then what's 9.2.7? Who knows?
Even just hearing it said feels like ash in my mouth. Have we ever had a 0.7 in our career?
Okay, I have a few things about this. First off, I want to address Slide. Like, they never said that 9.2.7 has any correspondence of when it's gonna come out. If it's gonna come out when Season 4 comes out, so we don't know if it's gonna be at the same time or at a different time. Who knows? Also, I'm pretty sure that they're just doing this because they kind of announced that we were not getting a 9.3 patch, so instead they're gonna throw a random number. But also, I'm like, okay, why didn't we do 9.2.6? Or Slide Whistle was saying earlier, like, why didn't we do 9.2.5.5? I feel like that'd be pretty camp.
Yeah, I would love a 9.2.5.5. I think that'd be so funny.
I would have assumed it would have been 9.2.75 if we're like cutting things into easily digestible numbers. I feel like saying that this is the 1/4 patch would have made more sense. Now this is what, 0.2 more? That's weird.
I'm sure that they had these discussions a long time over the Wizard Roundtable, but I would have loved to hear like what the logic was for not doing 0.6, for landing on 0.7, for not just doing it. No, like it would have been funny. They're like, "Fuck it, guys, let's call it 9.3." But like, those are normally like big patches, so the 0.7 really indicates how small of a patch it is, I think.
Yeah, so there's a few things that they announced that would be a part of this, and it seems like they are not that big. They're just like kind of interface type changes. I know that one change that they're pushing forward with it is that the auction house's reagent sales will now be broken down into like expansion or region. So like if you're looking for sets of ore or something to sell or buy, then you can say like, I only want to look for Shadowlands ore, so you don't accidentally buy or sell some like Legion ore, which I think is a good change.
Yeah, that's honestly a huge fucking change. The amount of times I typed in like weighted, because I'm trying to find weighted shadestone. And now that I'm not looking for it, I know the name. When it's the heat of the moment and I'm like, I need my fucking buffs, I can't remember what the fuck the last part is. I type in weighted, and then I get like 20 different options, and I'm like, what are these things?
That happened to me last night. I was using your Brutosaur mount at Raid, and I did Intellect to get some Intellect potions, which the current ones are Potion of Spectral Intellect, or some combination of those words. And I did Intellect, and it was like, do you want Intellect Potion of the Magus? We have 13 of those from Cataclysm, and I'm like, why are these even here?
Yeah, like, similarly, like, I've had these struggles before, and my main thing was just, like, I guess whatever the one I need, if I don't remember the actual name of this current expansions, is the one, and then I just assume that it's the one that has the most of them for sale. So now we don't have to worry about that anymore in 9.2.7.
What a crazy fucking number. I'm not going to get over this.
It's weird because 9.2.5, I feel like in my head I've gotten accustomed to. But 9.2.7 sounds like, okay, we're really like nitpicking here. We're getting into unnecessary details.
It almost sounds like an April Fool's patch, doesn't it?
Mm.
And so then we've gotten some other 927 news. So when you say it like that, it sounds kind of nice. 927. It's almost like a Stitch character. It sounds like a Stitch experiment. 927.
927's the one that makes different sandwiches. 625 made specific sandwiches, but 927 makes like, he can do standard, he can do hoagies, he can do grinders.
No, Prime Month's over, no more grinders.
Ew.
So they've announced a new trade chat channel coming our way in 927. The blue post reads as such. A new chat channel for searching or advertisement of services like raiding, dungeons, or PvP activities has been added. It's called Trade Services end parentheses. The developers had a note to it, and it says, the trade channel that's been in the game for 18 years will continue to exist, but we wanted to add a new channel to direct messages about the request and advertisement of services like raiding, dungeons, or PvP. If you want to buy or sell these kind of services, this is a channel for you. If you're not interested in those, you can leave the channel and avoid the noise, or move it into its own chat tab. We believe with this new distinction, you'll be able to keep trade chat for the traditional buying and selling of items and professions and not other chatter. Not other chatter? Have you been in trade chat recently? Or ever?
I would love to be the Lily White WoW developer who's like, trade chat, it's used for trade, right? And they log in one day in 2022. It's like, oh no, reproductive rights. What are you doing in here?
I was gonna say, have these developers not been in trade chat for the last 18 years? Because I feel like it's literally just spamming. First off, services like this, yes, that is in there, and I am kind of glad that those things are gonna be moved to another channel, because they, especially lately, ever since that they announced that some of those sales are going to be banned, I just feel like trade chat has had a lot more of those. But I feel like most of the chat in there is literally just people trolling, trying to get a reaction about hot political takes and things, and it's just really toxic.
I don't know who this Stephen Bannon is, but he seems to be loving to sell his services in our World of Warcraft game. He's always in trade chat.
Weekly reminder that Steve Bannon used World of Warcraft trade chat to recruit white supremacists for his cause in 2004.
It's been in all 3 of the last episodes, and it will be in every episode since, because wowie zowie.
I type it in trade chat whenever I see anyone mention politics. Just I throw it in there and then I fly out to my Covenant Order Hall. I just this feels like something that should have been in the game a very long time ago. And I feel like it's one of those things where it's too fucking late. No one is going to use trade services chat, because everyone knows that everyone's reading trade chat original. Why would we look at trade? You know what I mean? People are either going to not ever open it, they're going to leave it immediately.
What's going to happen is the people who are selling these services are going to double post them in both channels.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I, for one, am just upset because Tyre and I, especially with him getting back into the game, we're finally thinking of relaunching, and we said trade services chat, because we're providing a service to all our listeners to give them our takes. And what do? They go and they patent it. God damn. Back to the drawing board.
Oh my god. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be Aaron to this joke. My finger was on the button. My finger was on the fucking button.
Well, you know what's funny? You think that Big Blizz patented, but actually, she who must not be named on this podcast, but I will name her anyways for comedic effect, Panzer, is the one who actually trademarked this for her big rebranding to Trade Services Chat.
She has been playing New World to an audience of 7 people on Facebook Gaming for years, but she still came in just to trick us in the end.
I love how we call her Panzer, because that's her name, and her name is not Trade Chat. Excuse me.
It hasn't been for decades.
Also, it's not trademarked. You guys should have just buckled down and said "fuck you."
I mean, what we were gonna do? Robus Pobus was on it. The authority of all World of Warcraft podcasts.
Why does my mom always call me every single time during this? Hey, I'm gonna answer it, see if this is bad audio or not. Hello. Hey, hi. Say hi to the people on the podcast I'm recording right now. What do you have to say?
Nothing.
All right, everybody, you heard it. She has nothing to say for once. Okay, bye. I love you. I hung up on her.
I really liked the "for once" you threw in there.
Yeah, you're about to get an earful after this.
Oh man, she's already writing in the Facebook chat. Oh god. Anywho's and Watson.
Okay, so I think Slide Whistle might actually be right about the 9.2.7 being launched with actual Season 4, which I don't know that we specifically said it yet, but Season 4 is coming. They announced the date. It's August 2nd. And it's really cool because I feel like Blizzard always bails us out. Literally, whenever earlier in the morning of the day that we're going to record, we're like, gee, it's been a kind of a slow week. What are we going to talk about? And then Blizzard's like, bam, Season 4, it's coming. Here's this date. Here's this info.
20 minutes into the episode, and we just mentioned Season 4 being announced. We dropped the ball a little bit there, didn't we, boys?
I mean, there was a lot of silly business. We had to take care of personal stuff. We had to do the contest. Your mom had to call. But yes, I mean, I'm sure the episode is called, like, Season 4, Give Me Some More. I'm actively writing down knowing I will name it that.
So I guess just a call to action for all of you out there, like things that you'll need to do before the end of the season. Aaron, if you want a Keystone Master, you know, for getting 2,500 rating to get that mountain mythic plus keys, that'll go away then. If you're a person that is trying to time 20s for your portals, that's when you have to get that done by, which I'm glad Team Mango Sour got that out of the way.
Yeah, because now we're fumbling 20s a little bit. Like, I think it's okay. So we're still on the jailer. raid prog talk, and so normally what happens is our team, the 5 of our team, Mango Sour, me, it's 4 druids and a priest. If you didn't know, we run a key after raid, and let me tell you, these have been some sloppy keys, and I think it's because everyone's still like, my brain is turned to mush because of all these jailer pulls we've done.
Yeah, because like what, we're at 5 raid nights in a row where it's just 2.5 hours of wiping against the jailer. That'll turn anyone's brain to mush, and it has.
What was our Sylvanas count? How many Sylvanas wipes did we have as a guild before we killed her? I mean, that's a lot. We haven't hit those levels yet, right?
69. So we have beat it, because it was at least 70 some last night.
Oh, wow. I didn't know we beat it.
Well, because the thing is, Sylvanas took forever, so it was grueling, but each night was really only like 5 pulls. We're averaging about 15 pulls on my man Zoval each night.
You know, I am thankful that the wipes are faster and that there's not like RP in between each phase that takes like literally 2 minutes, and then you fuck up on the bridge and then you're just like, well, wipe it up.
Like, it's pretty bad, but it's not like make it to the 3rd platform of Sylvanas and die 25 minutes in and have to go back to the beginning bad.
And honestly, I want to say it's even better than wiping on Anduin. I will 100%. Say
100%. Well, I definitely think I think the flow of this fight is better when we have everything down pat, which obviously is not ever. But for the most part, we've gotten 8%. 8% is our lowest, I think. We had a couple 10%. Like, but we've also been afflicted by like our own affix, which is just like other people just being busy. Like
just real silly business in the group.
Like one of our death nights that we almost need to have 2 death nights on this fight. I feel like if we don't have 2 death nights, we're not going to clear it, which is crazy to say, but they do so much work for us with these ghosts pulling them in. And one of them kept DCing, and I'm like, no, we need you. Pablo kept DCing. He's like one of our top like damage people. One of our healers disappeared for 24 hours because he had to go into work. And I'm like, sir, it's like 9 p.m.
getting work. Yeah, he's a British gentleman, but I'm pretty sure he lives here in the continental United States. Yeah, okay, yeah. So
I think he lives in Vegas, actually.
Anyways, his boss is having him drive things into work at night, and I'm just like, don't. We need you.
Yeah, that was weird. What was up with that? Like, he literally had to go last night because he was driving in a parcel at like 11 p.m. Well, if he's in Las Vegas, that'll be 9, 10. It's still late.
Yeah, no, that's definitely way past the time where it's like if anybody asked me to do anything for work, I would just not even respond because I'm off the clock for like 4 or 5 hours at that point. But also at this point, I'm like, guys, next patch, we got to re-roll, like, I'm going to be a death knight at this point because the number of fights where, like, we've needed, like, additional death knights, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'll do it. I'll be there every week on a death knight, not doing as good as I would on anything else just because we need death knights.
Persephone was like, should I switch from my hunter to my death knight? And everyone said, no. And I was like, yes, actually, it's geared. It's not like she doesn't, it's not like it's not geared. It's a pretty geared character. Hell, I'll bring Alan. My boy Alan's been doing fucking bench presses down in the Seat of the Primus. Oh my god, Seat of the Primus. Did you guys know that there was an additional area to the fucking Necrolord Covenant Hall with training dummies? If you knew this, please send me an email at navarracoffin@gmail.com. Thank you.
I did not know this, And as soon as you brought it up, I was playing on Gelbin 2, who is a Necrolord, and I pulled up my map, and it's just right there. It's not even like it's obscured. You can clearly see there's an extra area behind. But I was like, why would I ever go over there? The big statue's right here.
Yeah, and I like how I also didn't know, and then, like, we all, like, pulled out our maps and compared the places that we normally have ever gone to, and, like, we realized that we've only ever been to, like, a third of the Necrolord Hall, just because, like, there's not much reason to go to the other parts. So, like, why would the training dummies be, like, 2 floors up, behind, in the back, really far away from everything?
I felt so dirty looking at the back of the Primus's ass. I'm like, I shouldn't be seeing this. Like, this is not for mortal men to be looking at. And also, this is very much on brand for the Necrolords. I have never seen so many fucking training dummies in my life in one area. Normally it's like, here's the dungeon one, here's the raiding one, here's the tanking one. They have the same ones, but they have subsections. It's like, there's like 3 different raiding ones, and they're called like Immortal Flesh or Everlasting Soldier. And I'm like, what's going on back here, guys?
First off, what does that mean? Second off, like, this conversation also got me thinking about where the training dummies were for other ones. I feel like, okay, so for the Venthyr, it's very obvious. It's right by the mission tables.
Very obvious.
Like,
I didn't know there were even dummies in there.
It is not well hidden at all. You turn right off of Renethal, and they're just there. Like, it's not even like it's a wing. It's just like, yeah, we put some up in a random hall.
I hate Sinfall so fucking much.
I love Sinfall. Other than the 2-level part of it, it's very easy to maneuver.
You have Stockholm Syndrome.
You don't get lost there.
I don't go there very often anymore. While, like, in my heart of hearts, immunization is a Venthyr. It's just that, like, for all the content I've been running, like, she's been Kyrian. Yeah, and then speaking of the Kyrian ones, I could not for the life of me figure out where they were, and then I realized they are not traditional training dummies. They are just, like, on one of the main platforms by the off of the stairs, like the main stairs in the middle. They are just, like, what are the robot cats called? Like Gatamatos or something like that? They're just like groups of those.
I believe they are called Acheons, Aquions.
So just the specific one that we trained with out in that one quest line was called Gatamatos?
Yes, I believe so. That was his Christian name.
The Kyrian Order Hall is too open to find, like, things like that. But man, when I get to fly into that portal to Oribos, oh, I come every single time. I come in. That's what Kyrians call their ejaculation.
My Acumian has
Champion.
has sprouted. I thought you were going to talk some big shit about the Ardenweald one, because the Ardenweald one, and not just because I don't like nature magic, is a combination. Not only is that bitch on like 2 to 3 different levels, it's way spread out. I'm on my man Randleman, and I'm like, where is the table? I had to ask for directions, and they were like, it's by the Wild Hunt training grounds.
Get your map.
Half a mile away.
I will say, like, sometimes for the callings, when you're trying to find one, now I know, because, like, Metaloid is a forever night phase, so, like, I'm always there, and I'm playing him a lot. But there's that one calling that is, like, from the Wild Hunt guy that it doesn't show up when you're just looking at your map from within the heart of the forest, like the center of it. So then it only shows up on the map when you're, like, go out to the Ardenweald map. So it's really confusing and hard to find for the first time.
Yeah, the outside component is very odd. And I say, look at the map. You see the symbols, and yet I still will run a full circle like, is this the one to the... No, not the one to the table. Is this the one to the table? No, not the one to the table. And I've lived there for the past entire expansion, so it still confuses me. But at least you can kind of cheese it. You can fly through Heart of the Forest, through the inside part. If you go high enough, it won't stop you from flying. So you can fly through it. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's like the old Doom strats that we had to use at the end of BFA, where, like, if you fly, like, at an angle down at the top and then, like, then go back up again immediately, then you, like, even if it does dismount you, you can, like, still just, like, fly down to wherever you need to go.
It, like, launches you into it. I love that shit. And that's, I think, why I like it so much. Go on, pop that beer. And don't be afraid. Yeah, I hear that crack of that can.
Yeah, grip it and rip it.
What are you drinking? What do we got on the table right now?
Okay, it's everyone's favorite segment. We have some claws. I just cracked open a ruby grapefruit, baby.
Have y'all had, and I'm sure this is, well, it's the end of Pride Month, so if there's any latent homophobia behind this one, I'm sorry. The Bud Light colas.
Yes, we actually have had the Bud Light colas.
So, like, these are the seltzers,
Yeah,
right?
they're seltzers, but they're like cola flavor or like cherry cola. Those are a big hit over here.
If I remember correctly, I think I didn't like one of those flavors the most I've ever
Cubby
hated
Bub
a seltzer.
does not like standard cola. So I'm in charge of drinking all of them.
I think Slide doesn't like the cherry one because he said that it tasted
It's
like
like you're
medicine.
drinking Robitussin. I don't want a Robitussin seltzer. What the fuck are we doing?
I think I liked all of them, though. I mean, I was at least fine with all of them, but I feel like it's not something I would get all the time. If I wanted a seltzer normally, I would just get, like, your normal, like, Claws or Trulies, I think.
I would get the Truly iced teas because I'm always ready for a good fight.
And with a good fight comes a good Worgid. Take it away, Raulina.
Greetings all, Growlina here to bring you the news you want to schmooze. I'm here today with Greendle, excited for Season 4 of the old Shadowlands. Green, what are your thoughts on slapping that mean old Sire D again?
Well, I'm honestly going to feel a little bad. My guild had him dead to rights for so long that I wish we could give him more of a break.
They say it's always hardest to hurt the ones you love. And boy, do I love me some Daddy D.
Agreed.
You know, you could always be a conscientious objector and just not fight the sire. I feel like you can bop the rest and not hurt the best.
Well, that makes sense. But I do want that sword pet, and I guess I'll set my feelings aside.
I honor your sacrifice, Green. At least, from the sound of things, it'll be over quick. Speaking of things being over, so is this segment. See you all again very soon.
Thanks, Growl. I'm ready to hear all about your favorite parts of Season 3.
Before we go back into Season 4, I would like to have you know, Aaron, and After Dark listeners, my When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth book has arrived in the mail in a pristine copy edition. And if you want to know what that's all about, just go to our Patreon. It was already plugged earlier because we had a dinosaur episode that was a mess.
It was kind of a mess, but it was fun.
I like the sheer cliff face that was the ending. We hit the time limit, and Slide said, "Goodbye, everyone. See you in 2 weeks."
I think Slide was offended that we were making dinosaur sexual when he wanted to talk a lot about dinosaurs.
That was more than fair.
And now for Season 4.
I tried to segue into this earlier, but we went anywhere but talking about Season 4, which is fine. It was fun, a lot of good tangents there, but I think that there's reason to believe that Slide actually is right in thinking that 9.2.7 is going to come out with Season 4, and like that is going to be the patch of Season 4. Because also in this patch is the changes that are coming to Destro Lock, which, okay, so I don't think we actually talked about this on the pod last week, did we?
No, I know there were some changes, but then someone just used it as a meme to be like, check out my SoundCloud. But now, aside from that individual SoundCloud, there are real changes?
This is my favorite thing. So Destro Warlock has been supremely overpowered in Mythic Plus. I mean, just in general, they're just ridiculous, doing crazy things. And big people have been calling, influencers on Twitter have been calling.
I was going to say, we're talking about popular people, we're talking about tall people, we're talking about fat people. Which group has been calling for this?
People with influence. And I've been calling for this. Have been calling for Destro nerfs since the beginning, right? Destro finally got nerfed last week. And then everyone goes, hold on a minute, everybody hold the phone, because the MDI is happening, and we shouldn't nerf things, and we should wait until season 4, because people were doing Destro Warlocks for the entirety of season 3, so why not let everybody finish? I'm like, what are the rules here? Where are the lines? What's the boundaries?
So, yes, the MDI people were like, but Blizzard, the entirety of the MDI is based around the fact that we have Destro locks on our team. Because it's so busted, so, like, why wouldn't you have a Destro lock on a survival hunter?
I love that they do it every single time. Last time this came around, it was some sort of rogue, and, like, the entirety of the team was invisible.
Yeah.
I love how brickety broken and meta-dependent the MDI is.
Yeah, so Blizzard soft caved to their demands and said, fine, we'll make these changes come in Season 4. So, yeah, now in the 9.2.7 PTR patch are some of the changes for Destrolock, which makes me feel like if those changes are there, then they'll be coming with Season 4, which is when they announced that Destrolock was going to get nerfed. And, like, the big thing that they're nerfing is that they're changing, I believe, how the 4 set works, which is making, like, the Rain of Fire procs less or less effective or something. They're basically stunting the AoE, but buffing Chaos Bolt, Immolate, Conflagrate, and all their single target
Which they
things.
should have done a while ago, and I do agree with that point, because if my research was correct, and normally is, you should be Rain of Firing on 2 targets. Bro, 2 target cleave is Destro Warlock's Havoc Chaos Bolt combo, and you weren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to press Rain of Fire for more DPS, and I'm like, that's crazy. That'd be like, Aaron, if they took away, like, God, what's a Fire Mage spell that's really important?
So we'll say if it's in a AoE context, Phoenix Flames.
The first thing I was going to say was Meteor, and I'm like, they already came for Meteor and took it.
Well, Meteor is something else. I'd love to do Meteor, but every single guide's like, no, you shouldn't do Meteor.
I love Meteor's such a great animation and sound and feel.
If Aaron had his, if I didn't listen to the internet and I just played the way I want to play, not only would I still have Meteor, I'd have the legendary where after 17 hits you do Meteor. But unfortunately, I have Conflagration.
No, it's like if I played BM the way I did originally back in WoD when I was dog shit because I didn't look up anything, I would have both Barrage and Stampede just because they're fucking cool.
It just sounds fun.
Stampede fucking rules. I honestly do think it's really, really dumb that they caved to wait until season 4. And literally on Twitter, there was this dude who posted like a fake. He was like, Destro should be nerfed to the ground. And he had this line of thought for weeks, posting memes and like doctored screenshots of like potential balance changes to Destro Warlock. And the minute it happens, that dude fucking folded and said, we should wait until the MDI is over. And I understand that balancing around competitive is like a thing that like games should do because it's top of the line, right? But there's never not a WoW competition happening. Either AWC is happening or the MDI is happening, or there's literally like 5 MDIs. There's 5 arena things. There's so many things that.
Which is funny to me too, because I feel like they've basically said in the past that they do not balance around that stuff, right?
Yeah, but now they've been listening to more of like outcries for the most part, and I guess people, because everyone's playing a Destro Warlock, because why wouldn't you? It does the most damage, and because everyone's like, no, stop it, they're like, okay, we'll stop it, so you guys can keep playing our game.
And what's really funny is after these nerfs dropped, then like a lot of half of the Warlocks were like, wait until season 4, and then half the Warlocks were like, what about Survival Hunter?
Yeah, they were like, what about those guys? Look at them. I'm like, you fuckers. You Warlock fuckers.
Which is definitely the Warlock mentality, I feel like. But then it's also funny that Blizzard had a blue post. They didn't post any specifics. They were just like, They're like, survival hunters, prepare yourself for a nerf in season 4. That's like word for word what they said.
Swing your staves hard enough to stave off the nerf that's coming in a few months.
They should have nerfed both of them. Both of those should already be nerfed. I can understand the logic of, well, this guy played a survival hunter 2 months ago and got his Keystone Master, so I should be able to get mine now. Wrong. Incorrect. All this does is make the meta specs survival and destro, which means my people are going to suffer when trying to pug their keys for the end of season 3. No one's gonna bring a feral druid because every group wants to bring a survival hunter and a destro warlock, if not 2 of those people or 3 of those.
You know what's sad though? I felt your pain, except I couldn't phase into a dungeon as a laser chicken. You know, I phase in. I mean, I join a group even, and then I was invited to a 20. On my BM Hunter, and they must have inspected me or something, saw that I was BM, and kicked me. Like, this happened like several times.
You
recently.
phased in, it was Metaloid, and then Slide Whistle the pet phased in, and they're like, good, and then Pablo the pet phased in, and they were like, ew, gross, BM, get him out of here.
It's like that one TikTok of like the too many slices. It's too many. It's too many.
And now I will say, did you whisper any of the leaders for clarification on why you were kicked?
No, I just
because
assumed.
you're forgetting a key component here. You're playing a panda, and Horde cannot play with Alliance. I've seen a lot of people be like, I kick all pandas from my group. You may have just been running into anti-panda groups.
You know, I would rather them just tell me that. Like, I understand. I would kick a Volpera.
When I get kicked from a group, I always ask, what's up? What happened? Can you re-invite me? Oh, was there a mistake? Usually they don't answer. Sometimes they're nice. Like that one feral druid that was like, sorry, we already have another feral druid. And I was like, it's you. Were you afraid of competition? And then he blocked me.
Fucking the other day, it was like running halls, whisper if Venthyr, and Growlina did, and they kicked me, and then the person messaged me was like, you're not a good Venthyr. I was like, what?
Yeah, you didn't even see my performance yet. How do you know?
I was like, what? Also, it's halls. That's the easy one. Sanguine, you can kind of like, you can fuck up when you open the pots. I can ask a gargoyle to come over here. That's easy for me to do.
How close are you to KSM now? What's the number? What's the math?
I didn't look, but this coming week, the one we're in right now, has a bunch of fortifieds, and I think that's the one that I need. I want to say I'm like 2100, so I'm like 400 away.
Ooh, you are 2232. You are close.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, dude, you got this. Holy shit.
I'm gonna get my big Spectral Boy mount, which I think can fly, and then I will add it, and it will not come up on random. Come check out my investigative study at donotrelent.livejournal.com. The random mount button is lying to you.
You have 3 dungeons that you have not run on a fortified, and 2 that you've run at +2. You picked the hardest week to pug your keys. The tyrannical weeks are not cute. like you have you're set for tyrannical. You got 17s through 15s for all of them.
Yeah, so I think you can get Keystone Master this week with just a few.
Yay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Epic.
What are you doing after this recording? What are you doing after this?
Probably nothing. Let's
free.
go.
We can run this. We can run something easy peasy. We've been struggling. I said this earlier before one of our many segues to get these 20s done, because after the jailer pulls, we're just so mind shocked that like I think we're all just like fucking up everything. We tried a 21. We didn't time it. It gave nobody rating. Like Pablo literally needs like 1 point, and Myth and our other group needs 2 or 3 points. Like they're so close. We just don't have the keys. We don't have the keys to get them there. I'm like jingling my keys right now.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a struggle. We want all of Team Mango Sour to get 3K rating to get our conduits, and then I think there'll be a relief on all of us where we can just try to fuck around on some hierarchies with a combination of alts just to fuck things up. And honestly, it'd probably be easier to do these hierarchies on our more meta class alts, which is kind of funny.
That's the thing, yeah. We want to switch to our meta alts. Like, I'm gonna bring in my warlock. Pablo's gonna bring in his shaman. Like, and we're gonna blow shit up because doing these 20s as 4 druids and a holy priest has been honestly super difficult. We don't have the AoE damage. We're 2 ferals and a boomy. Like, Fortified's kind of hard for us. We actually do better on tyrannical weeks because we can murder bosses. Everyone on our competitive WoW complains about Necrotic Wake and how hard the last boss can be breaking his shield. And I'm like, bitch, when you got 2 1-minute convokes, it's not hard to break that shield.
I know, and like, who would have thought that, like, out of our comp, me as a holy priest is the only one that's really kind of meta right now?
The first time they've ever been meta in anything. It's so meta they had to nerf you in PvP too.
That's fine. Speaking of PvP, our PvP team is kind of falling apart right now.
Oh no!
Okay,
I'm not on this, so what goes on?
Okay, but listen, Aaron, you can join whenever you want to. It's literally, I'm so shocked at the growth of this
Mondays are
group.
our Mass Effect nights, and we just started 3, so things are heating up.
Ooh, that's Mass Effect Mondays. That's a really good thing. I like that a lot. Just okay. So our raid lead. No, it's not a raid lead. What do you call this? It's
Our
Arbiter lead.
our Sergeant Commander, Bear Force 1.
yeah, some stranger in the wind. It's like in a fantasy where it's like, he used to be an old knight, but now he's just a strange hermit. That guy.
It's funny because he used to be our raid lead.
Yeah, he's our old raid lead who's taking a break to do his real estate business, doing his stuff, but he still has time, for the most part, to do PvP on Monday nights for 1 hour before he's like, okay, we're done. Bye, guys. And then queues for Battlegrounds by himself randomly. He didn't show up 2 weeks ago. And he did not say anything that day, and we're like, okay, this is weird. So I tanked as a prop pally with no PvP legendary. It was okay. We did 50-50 like we normally do.
And the thing is, he didn't say anything for another 6 days. He next said he only acknowledged it like Sunday night, like before, but like we do our PvP nights on Monday. He posted being like, "Sorry guys, I wasn't there. but I will be there tomorrow."
Yeah, he said, "Hey everyone, just wanted to say I'll definitely be on for tomorrow, Monday, for RBGs. Sorry for last Monday, again, work related. Hoping that'll be the last time, bear emoji. Hope to see you all tomorrow night for some BGs, other bear emoji." Well, tomorrow rolled around. Guess who never showed up and still hasn't said anything?
Yeah, so this is 2 weeks in a row that he just ghosted us. He still hasn't said anything. And the upcoming Monday, it's 4th of July. So, like, people aren't going to be on to do RBGs. It's funny because Myth posted saying, like, should we just preemptively cancel it? It's 4th of July. People probably have plans. Myth is like, I personally don't have plans, so we could if you want. But which is I think is so funny because probably same, but, like...
We're about to have a lot more free time on our hands because everybody's folding up. The Dogs with Jobs finally called it on Saturday and Sunday after being unable to get a group going for 3 weeks in a row. Again, the 3-week effect. They folded and were like, sorry, it's done. Which me and Amine are like, well, we knew this was coming because they couldn't even field like 18, 17 for a Mythic. Well, we were like 15 for a Mythic, and then we're like, we're calling it.
Yeah, it was kind of sad, like... I don't know, when your raid leader doesn't show up for like 3 of those 3 weeks, and like, yeah, I guess that makes sense that like you should probably just cancel the raid.
I mean, like, I'm it's whatever. Like, Mythic, I mean, if this is legitimately the hardest raid we've had in a while. Mythic would not have been any easier. So much so that they're nerfing it in upcoming patches before the patch comes out. So
yeah, which is so funny. They specifically were like, we noticed not a lot of people were doing CE. They couldn't get it.
Right.
So we'll throw you a bone in this last month to buff the numbers so we don't get in too much trouble.
They also said that it's a lower number of guilds that are getting AOTC.
It's a lower number of guilds that
like,
are even going into the thing, and LFG, LFR. It's just like, we can't help but notice, maybe because, some trouble or anything like that, no one's really engaging with the product right now. So we're going to lower things.
It is hard, though. Like, it is legitimately hard. And this is after
hard.
several rounds of nerfs already. But I'm just saying, I hope that this nerf comes through before we step in there again. Like, I hope there's some jailer nerfs so that we can just finally fucking clean this up. Because it feels bad that, like, we've almost flawlessly made it to the end of Phase 3 a few times now. And we're still at, like, 8 to 10%, which I don't know. I feel like if one or two people don't die throughout the fight, then maybe it'd be like a 4% wipe. I don't know. We just need to maximize our damage a little bit here and there.
That's the thing. I'm fairly certain by eyeballing the fights, I don't think we currently have the damage capacity to kill it. Lynn keeps saying it's not a damage check, but it is for us, because if we can't kill those ghosts fast enough, and if we could kill Zobal fast enough to avoid second ghost phase, we would be solid. And we're like almost there. I feel like we're like kind of close. Like we kill second ghost phase, half of us die, and Zobal is at like 8% at our best. If we could just get a couple people just to do regular human damage, we would be A-okay. A-okay.
All I know is the world first has been achieved. The world 50th has been achieved. It does nothing for Blizzard to keep it super difficult. I'm not saying dump it to easy mode, but I'm saying just take 5% off, 7% off. Who's gonna care? You don't get anything by keeping it super tough and be like, neener, suck a wiener, you didn't get AOTC. It's just like, just final 2 weeks, final 3 weeks, which we're at. Lower it a little bit. Let people live the dream, please.
I was trying to count how many guilds have heroic jailer done on Proudmoore. I mean, it's more than I thought it would be for sure, but it's still like, is it even 100? I don't think it's even 100.
Like, no one's gonna pat you on the back, Blizzard, for being like, we made a tough-ass thing that hardly anyone ever did. Just lower it. Let people who earned their way there just do it. I'm not saying you need to make Mythic super easy. I'm just saying, take some percentage off so you can sneak a few more people in there before it's over. Yeesh.
Okay. So 42 confirmed guilds. So okay, wait. It's funny because Unomas is one of them because Group 2 got it. Have heroic jailer down. There are a bunch of there's 44 guilds that have one mythic boss killed, but I can't confirm if they killed AOTC jailer. Who knows? Maybe they couldn't get it down. Maybe they skipped it. So even adding that in, that's still less than 100. That's like 87 minimum that have it on the server. We normally have a fuck ton more that have this. Like, we've said it before, time and time again. This shit is hard.
Listening to old episodes, we were talking about heroic being like literally on farm, where we were going through the entire thing in one day. Going through the entire thing with ults in one day. It does nothing, Blizzard, to keep it so tough!
And what's crazy is, like, we have 1 month now, right? Effectively 1 month until we can no longer get AOTC. I don't think that will happen to us. I think we'll probably, at this point, get it next week. Hopefully.
We have 24 hours. Roughly, it's 3 hours with 2 a week, 4 weeks. We have 24 hours to get AOTC, and we have the lockout. It'll be 24 hours of Zoval. After that day of content, it'll be done.
I kind of like that it's hard. I really enjoy the progression. Now at this point, I'm just tired. But because I've been raiding every day of the week. I guess it could be a little easier, but also like I feel like the fault of us not getting it is kind of on some of our raiders at this. It's really 8%. We would have had it, but we just have a lot of people that we're kind of carrying. You know what I mean? It's probably the most we've had to carry in a very long time, and we don't have the both groups combined to give us the full carry that we normally provide. You know, normally we have like Gronk. I say normally as in like last expansion, Gronk, Brio, even Honors. Like, you know what I mean? Those three alone would give us the damage we need to do it. But they are so burned out from their own progression that they're not even playing the game anymore.
I don't blame them either, because we, on paper, just this last raid night, officially passed them in pulls that it took. Only by like 1 or 2. Like, we just hit the number of pulls they had to get their AOTC. Like, just at the end of the night.
As much as I love... Now, I would help. But, like, if I was in Group 2 and I saw that, like, Group 1 had just entered Jailer Prog, I definitely would not touch that shit. I would wait until, like, maybe, like, the last second to help when I felt really bad. I can see that from their perspective. Me, personally, I would be a June. I feel like I would have to help because I can bring damage and I can help people do something. You know what I mean?
And, like, we're one guild, so I appreciate, like, June and someone coming to help us. I do. Like, it's been really nice.
Yeah, we definitely need them. I'm also... So, I've just been reading these guild names that have AOTC or whatever. There's a Proudmoore guild. Are they going to come after us for copyright?
Not anymore. The contest is over. They're going to hear this episode and they're going to be like, whew, almost came for them, but it's over.
Also, I don't normally advocate for joining the Horde, but maybe we should to join the guild Power Word Taint. That's such a good name. They're the 68th guild on Proudmoore. Power Word Taint, a red guild and a sea of blue.
Do you think that they had the conversation about whether or not they needed to delay their jailer kill in order to become the 69th guild?
Hold. And then they see like Legion of Super Gay, GAY-MERS go, and it's like, now, kill him.
Wait, I'm confused. Okay, so there used to be a very prominent Proudmoore guild called Taint. It was like our gay Horde allies. They're gay. Now, this has to be them. Power Word Taint? Did they literally buy a name change just to add Power Word in front of the Taint? Because that's great. I love that.
I mean, personally, I think that's money well spent.
That's fun. All right, but now it's time to move on to our top 2 bottom boot, medium moot. Aaron, start us off.
I have a bottom boot this week, unfortunately.
What?
Boo.
Wow, trying to increase your boot numbers, I see.
Yeah, I'm stuffing the ballot here from all those stats that I don't have access to and don't understand anymore. My boot is, frankly, we got a 10%, 8% pull last night on the Yailer, and I had died. And it wasn't even to, like, hard mechanics. There was 2 glowy blue things near me. I faced myself to 1 because I thought that was the thing that propels you backwards. And I'm like, ha, I'm so smart. I got it. And then I did the, in fact, wrong thing. So I just fell into a ding-dang hole at, like, 99% health.
You know, in your defense, there's a lot of blue in that fight. There's a lot of blue and there's a lot of gray that are very similar in colors, which is the same color as the floor. It's hard to see. A lot of us only for the first time last night noticed like that there is a line in front of him when he does his knockback that you can't stand in either because it's so hard to fucking see.
And I have fallen prey to this mechanic maybe only like 2 times, 3 times before in the entirety of our history. So I was just like, it was very shameful to fall to a mechanic so early that I really understood. And then, not saying that I am 10% of Uno Massa's damage, but I'm like, I really could have helped, but it is my bottom boot that I was not given the chance.
Every damage counts.
Very true. Immunization, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, I'm going to bring a top 2. And it's just that, like, overall, I feel like I am currently playing the most WoW I've been playing, which I feel like I've said several times, but I keep finding new things that I like. I feel like I finally kind of understand Frost Mage, and I'm really enjoying it. So my top 2 is that, like, I'm having fun with my Frost Mage alt. It's a lot of fun.
Yes! Oh, the Big Ten has voted to add. They're officially in. In case you're wondering.
Oh, well, Slide Whistle is referring to the fact that UCLA and USC, from California, have officially been added to the Big Ten Conference. And I just want to say,
USC, the what? Trojans? The ones who we have the go green, go white. It was against them, right?
Yeah, okay, so, it's a big meme because, that song is about because, the big thing would be that, the Big Ten and the winner of the Pac-12 would face each other in the Rose Bowl over there, right? And, the USC is who we would face there. And, that's who we beat for our Rose Bowl win in the 80s. And I forget where I was going with this, but...
I just want to say I'm upset because the Big Ten, and even in our time, was no longer 10 people. Now it's 20. That's upsetting. Change the name. Big 20.
Aaron, I'm pretty sure before any of us were born, it was 11 because they added Penn State. But
take Rutgers out. Take Butgers out.
No, I feel like every addition they've added has made less and less sense. I'm Penn State, cool, makes sense. Then they're Nebraska. I'm I guess it's not that far from Iowa, who's already in the Big Ten. Then they're we're adding Rutgers and Maryland. And I'm I guess it's not that far. And now they're we're adding literal West Coast across the country. I'm I thought this was supposed to be a Midwest conference, y'all.
All I know is go green, go white. There's gonna be a party on New Year's night.
I saw this funny tweet that was hey guys, Michigan will finally get to play at the Rose Bowl when they have to play away at USC. But anyways, Slide Whistle, what's your TTBBM?
I got a big, fat, medium moot for y'all.
Medium. We ran the gamut this week.
My medium moot is breaking news from the MDI. If you watch the MDI and the AWC Global Finals, it says and, but it should be and or, for 2 hours on YouTube, you will earn a title for your character in World of Warcraft. You will earn the Fearless Spectator title. So all you have to do is go to the YouTubes on July 8th to the 10th, or July 16th to the 17th, or July 23rd to the 24th. If you watch 2 total hours, not in a row, not consecutive, it's cumulative, across all 3 weekends, 2 hours, you will get the title Fearless Spectator. That's awesome.
So, is this watching
so
I had to watch?
Overwatch rules.
I was going to say, I had to watch the Overwatch League, which is have it in a tab, mute it, and put it away?
Yeah, I think you need to link your account probably the same way we already did, which means that we're just set to go. You just put that open. I was going to say, if I'm being generous, it's in my second monitor screen muted, and I might glance at it, but if I'm being realistic, it's muted in the background. I will not be watching it, but I want this title.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a very good title, but I want it. And it's medium moot because fuck the MDI. Warlocks and Survival Hunters should be nerfed right now. If it wasn't for your ass making this shit happen over these next weekends, where everyone's no, we can't nerf them because we can't make changes on the fly. Bitch, I want to see a Feral Druid in this. Nerf everybody else. Leave them the only class there.
5 feral meta.
Team Mango only.
Team Mango.
You know who is sweet like Mango? It is our $5 a month patrons. We are referring to Command Sergeant Major Tajurla, chaotic bifactional. 4th host of the podcast, Jamonkey. Ahoy Vince, a.k.a. Nathanos, killed himself to see Sylvanas and she won't even pick up the phone. Instinct / Drag Race. Crucifix. Saracen Hawk. Joe DiGiorno Dorno. Gershom, the Grill Master. Tss. Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vandelisle, who asked, what the fuck, Richard? And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
And with that, we are out the fuck out of here. Send us an email at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com. Tweet at us on the Twitter at donotrelenttpod. Send us a picture of your kitchen sink. We'll review it. We're kitchen sink experts. What about you guys? Where can we find you on the internet?
I'm still thinking about those things, but you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex. You can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
I'm more of a bathroom sink man myself, but you can find me on twitter.com at TheBigAcheesy, read the show's literary musings at donotrelent.livejournal.com, and watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. I pay too much money for that Overwatch 2 beta. I'm going to play it for you and be like, wow, it's pretty bare bones.
If we can't get a group together for these keys, I'm down to play some Overwatch 2.
Yep.
Maybe we just do that. No, we had to get you that first. We had to priorities. We're on focus. All right, everybody.
You have the whole weekend. We can play some OW2.
We'll see. We'll see you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
Daddy's gonna piss and I'll be back. Oh, I'm Daddy.
Oh, yes.